Let's start with this app. We have 3 text fields and 4 labels and 5 buttons. And the third text field, which is the result, should be set non-editable. And we have 5 buttons, 4 operators, and 1 clear button. So let's think about the layout. I believe grid is a good layout for this one. We have 2 columns, and let's see what we're gonna do here. We will make a grid, and maybe the last row of the grid, we're gonna put a H box in it. And the H box will take 2 columns. We call it column span. So let's start by creating a new JavaFX application. Here we start by file new project. Already project is available, so no need. So I'm just gonna make a new other, and I'll select JavaFX main class, and I'll call it calculator app, and that's it. And here I need to do my work. We will start with a grid layout. So here I would say GridPane. Okay, pane is equal to new GridPane, and this is the first thing. Next, we need to set the insets of the GridPane, and the insets will need here pane.set padding new insets from all sides, and I can say 10, 10, 10, 10. And now we need the horizontal and vertical gaps. And remember to import insets from JavaFX, not from AWT. And here I would say pane.set vgap 5 between the components, and pane.set edge gap, which is also gonna be 5. Done with the main skeleton of the panel. Now I need to create the first label, which is gonna be in the column 1, row 0. So here I would say a grid pane dot add a new label, and I will call it calculator, and it's gonna be in column 1, row 0. So 0, 0 is gonna be empty so far. 0, 0 is gonna be empty. To avoid adding again and again, I'll just do Control star here, and that's it. Now I'll go and add the second label, and I can say, since I don't need the labels to programmatically, I can just copy paste here. I will do the first number label, first number, and the first number is going to be in column 0, row 1. And the second number is going to be in, again, column 0, row 2. So this is the grid pane here, and I also need the result. So also the result is going to be in column 0, row 3. So result, sorry, here, column 0, row 3, and I just need to change the text to result. And so far, so good. Let me just put a colon for each of them. Now we need to create text fields. Let's start with saying text field n1 or first txt is equal to new text field, and that's it. Now I have another text field second txt, which is also equal to new text field. And finally, I need a result field, text field, result txt equals a new text field. And for this one, we needed to set it to, look at this now. Let us just call it result txt. And here I would say result txt dot set editable to false. So you cannot input data directly in the text field. So let's add them to the grid. Okay, so I will add them one by one. So pane dot add, let's say first txt, and first txt is gonna be in row column and row 1, column 1 and row 1. And I need to add all of them. The second txt is gonna be in column 1, row 2, and the result txt is gonna be in column 1, row 3. So far, we added the buttons. Let's look at the image now. Here, we added the calculator, the labels, and the 3 text field. Now I suggest to create an H-box and add 5 buttons to the H-box, and then put the H-box in the next row. Let's see this. Here I would say H-box. I'll call it buttons pane, a new H-box. We will set the gaps and the settings. Here is H-box. Okay, now I'll create 5 buttons, and here button plus btn equals new button. Let's add the remaining buttons quickly, one by one, and save you a few seconds to clear the text fields from the previous operation. And here we will make it C. So now I have all the buttons. I'll add them at once to the H-box. So I'll go here and say button pane dot get children, and then get children, then dot add all of them. We will say the same order, plus btn minus btn divide btn and multiply btn and clear btn. The next step is to add the buttons pane to the grid panel. So I would say pane dot add, and here I would say buttons pane added to column 0 and row 4. Row 4, and here you can decide, here row 4, you can say 1 row and 2 columns. This is going to be a span. So let's see, just the name is wrong maybe here, buttons I believe. So now the panel will be added to column 0, row 4. It will span only 1 row, but it will take 2 columns. The last parameter is number of columns. This is how you change the column span in grid panels. So that's it. Our panel is ready. Let's make sure we create our own scene. Scene equals a new scene, and we put the pane in it. Let's give it just 300 by 300. And finally, we need the stage. Let's import the scene to the project. And finally, we will say primary stage. Okay. Dot set scene, which is scene, and primary stage, which is the window. Okay. Set title, for example, calculator, app, and finally primary stage dot show. We did not do any event handling here. Run. I believe this is good, very good. We just need to modify the show here to show the buttons and some spacing between them in the H-box, which is fine. And here, and this one is not editable as you see here. So this is so far so good. So the next step is just modify the H-box appearance and do the event handling. So we go here to the buttons panel, buttons pane, dot set spacing. Let's make it 10 points. And here also I would say buttons pane and set padding buttons pane dot set padding, new insets, and we will use 10 from all sides, and hopefully this is gonna make it better. So if I run this now, okay, fine. Here I have the spacing, right? But there is a problem here. I don't see the buttons panel taking 2 columns. It seems I'm using some kind of old syntax. So let us try another one. Here, I'll just make it in the first column here. Okay, but I will go here and will say pane.set columns. Is there a set columns? Yes. Set column span for buttons panel, buttons pane, and here I would say 2 columns. So I'm asking the grid panel to give 2 columns to the grid panel to give 2 columns to the buttons panel. Let's see this now. Okay, working here. It's taking 2 columns, as you see. Tamam? And this is good. We can later fix the size and all other things. Next step is to handle the events. So we have 5 buttons here. The simplest event will be the clear. The clear event is gonna reset the text in all the text fields to nothing. So let me just do this one here. Here, clear button. Clear btn dot set on action event and make a curly here. That's it. So what we need to do here, first txt dot clear, simple, and second txt dot clear and result txt dot clear. That's it. So if I just copy this here quickly, so now first and second and result txt, all of them will be cleared. So let us see this in action here. Okay, and I don't see an error here. Okay, so let me just save this and run it, calculator app. Okay, let me write anything here and clear. So it's working fine. So if you write anything in the first 2 and you clear, this is working fine. Now we need to handle the plus, minus, and operators. And by the way, there can be multiple things how to do it. We can maybe repeat the code. And let me show you how to repeat the code. For example, here, I would say plus button, plus btn, set on action. If you click plus, event, and curly, and here, let us say, let me put a semicolon here. What is a plus? A plus is going to be taking the 2 values from the text fields and make an addition. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. I would say double, a number 1 equals first txt. No, we need to do double bars double because we need the text to be converted to double. And here I would say first txt dot get text. That's it. This is how we get the value. And same thing I would do for the second number. So the second number here will be n2 will be retrieved from the second txt. And here, and now I can say result txt dot set text. I can say string dot format percent dot 2f if you want. And here I would say n1 plus n2. Let's see this. Our code here should be double quote. Okay, 1 extra still here. So we format the text to n1 plus 2, n1 plus 2 to high. Let's run it and see what happens. I need you to look at the code. Here I'm typing any numbers. Here another number and click on plus. The moment you click on plus, line 44 will start. It will receive the value from the first txt. Line 45 will receive the value from second txt, and it will set the results to this one. I would clear and then try it again, 4.5, whatever value here, and click on plus. The same thing is needed for all other operators. I believe this code is repeated. You can make it in a common method, or you just can here. For me, I'm going to do it quickly because this is just a beginner's demo. So I created four action methods. I'll do minus here, minus button. I'll do divide button and see how simple is that. Okay, divide button, and I will do multiply button. And here I will just change the operator. I know I can do this without repeating the code, but I just now, for simplicity, each button has its own method. Of course, if it's division, you need to check if n2 is 0 or not. Otherwise, you will get an exception. But these are for a different tutorial. But for this one, all the buttons now, they have their own action handled and run. Okay, 45, 5 plus, divide, multiply, minus, clear, and that's it. Mission accomplished. We can later talk about how to do this and manage it, but when you use coding, it's not easy to get the perfect view of your components. Usually we use Scene Builder for those complicated demos.